What's going on YouTube? Flip Rodriguez here and we're back for another gym vlog. On this vlog, I have created a mastermind of a flying bar situation behind me. This is actually a recreation of an obstacle from NSC where you put the salmon ladder bar on there, your feet against the post, and then you'll be able to jump into the sky hook. So I'm gonna build on this idea. I'm gonna be swinging, we're gonna be locking it into bear trap, then the bar is gonna fall and we're gonna fall into a flying bar cradle. My first idea was to do it at a 55-degree angle where you have to like swing backwards, pull it into the cradle and then pop right out of it, or else you'll like slip through because you won't be able to swing. But I don't know if I'm gonna start it that way. So we're gonna play with that idea and find out. But we're gonna be going into another set of cradles. The last move, I don't even know if I could do it. We're gonna lache up. We're gonna punch it through 2 bars, and then we're gonna turn it and it'll set on those bars. So this would be a very interesting vlog. This would probably be a little bit more fast paced, but what I wanted to talk about while I'm setting up is we're gonna be talking about life lessons I wish I knew earlier. And I feel like I've learned my life lessons a lot sooner than most, but I still would like to go over it and just talk to you guys and kind of be vulnerable and authentic with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. Let's get into it. I brought the ladder back. So let's dive into what I think I wish I learned a lot younger. Right off the top of my head is the comparison to other people. I think way too many of us compare ourselves to others. I think comparison to others is the thief of joy. I forgot where I heard that, but since I heard that, I never forgot it. I feel like everyone's like, oh, but these guys have it all. Like, well, that person's got this and they're just better. XYZ. There's 100 things people could say that other people have that they don't, or that they're better looking, or they have more opportunities, whatever, yada yada. The real fact of it is you don't really know other people's journey unless they're like your best friend and you know their whole life story. So comparison to others is like, it just kills people mentally. And I know it did for me growing up as well, you know. I wish I was the popular one, the cool one, you know. I wish I was taller because I wasn't tall. In school, I was actually very, very short. And with being short, obviously picked on, you weren't the cool kid, yada, yada, yada. I know so many kids that compare themselves to others. When 1, you don't know what they did to get where they were or they are. 2, you don't know anything like much about them, you know, and everyone's on a different path. I think that's the biggest thing, is we're all on a different path and most people don't realize that everyone's born different as well. You know, some people are more talented or genetically better for the sport, whichever sport that may be, or whatever thing that may be. Just because they look or you think they're better doesn't mean in the long run, like in life, it's actually even gonna matter. Because I know a lot of people who were better than me in high school and they're not doing better than me in life right now, you know. So I think that's also something that most people don't really think about. All right, so I think I'll just move on to the next thing I think is important, because truthfully it's been like 15 minutes and I totally forgot my train of thought on what I was going on. The next one, and if you know me, you know that 1, I'm huge about this, and 2, you've definitely have heard me say this. I wish I knew the importance of your environment, the people you hang out with. I wish, like, I truly, oh my God, you guys have no idea how impactful it is. You are the people you are around. That is like the biggest thing I could tell somebody, man. Like, it is actually incredible. You will be, if you hang out with bullies, as an example, you will be the next bully. You hang out with people who are so positive and energetic and they have a drive in life, you're gonna find that within yourself, you know? I can't express the importance of it. I'll give you guys a couple of examples. One for me specifically, when I met Sly, right? I didn't know where I was going. And if you've been if you've seen anything in my life, Ninja Warrior, parkour, stunts, you know who Sly is. If you read my book, you know who Sly is. And Sly, when I met Sly, that's when I started learning how to eat properly, how to train, discipline. Like, when you want something, you gotta figure it out. There's no, oh, but I don't feel, but blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I had to figure it out. And being with someone like Sly has helped me tremendously, actually, to become the person that I am today. right? So that's why I'm gonna be talking about this environment thing all day, every chance I get, because the reality is, if you're in a negative environment, negative people, negative like family or whatever it is, I'm sorry to tell you, but they gotta go. If you're trying to become better, they have to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you have to get out of there. You know, I don't care, and you could quote me on this, I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's your spouse, I don't care if it's your best friend. If it's negative drama, take it out. I promise you, you'll see what I'm talking about the second you find the courage to get out of there, because it impacts you so much. Man, I cannot give the importance of that to you guys, because it's incredible, man. When you just find an environment that wants to see you win. I can't express how many people, no matter how close you think you are to them, they don't want to see you win unless they're winning too. See, not me. I want people to win all around me, with or without me. I don't even care. Sly, I want Sly to make multi-million, gazillion dollars. I don't need a dollar. I'm going to be so excited for my boy that he's going to think like I'm winning too. Everyone else will think that I'm winning too, because how excited I am for him. You know what I mean? And that, when you find people like that, that's when you start elevating your life so far up, you wouldn't even think it's possible. So environment, control your environment. All right, time for the test here. I hope this works. I hope this works. Come on. Sick! So now if you see right here, this bar, once this locks into bear trap, there's no way this bar stays here. So they're really gonna have to drop into it. Now the question is, do I make it at an angle or do I make it flat? Flat, I definitely think is gonna be much easier. All right, so next thing I wish I learned early in life, just start. And I know it's probably close to what I was talking about earlier about, not everyone has it all figured out. And that is very, very true, but you have to just start. Ugh. Don't follow me like this, guys. This is a bad way to do it. I'm just getting a little lazy, but anyways, just start. It's really that simple. Starting is gonna be the best way to success. When you're interested in something, go for it. Try it out, because if you don't try it, then you'll never ever know. And I hope that kind of makes a lot of sense and that resonates with people. And where did I put my drill? All the way back there. Of course I did. Flip. There's so many people that go, oh, I wanna do this. And then they never do it because it's not the right time or something like that, And I feel like that is so common in life. Some people they're just like, oh, I wish I did this when I was younger. I wish I could do this now. Just start. Yeah, you're not gonna be perfect. You just gotta start sometimes, Let me just drill this in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is finding what's important to you in life. One of the biggest things that I've done personally to get a good grasp on life and the true meaning behind it is I've done a lot of homework on elderly people. And I know it sounds weird, but it's really about when people are towards the end of their life is, I think, where you truly find out what matters in life. In order to have a life-altering change, you have to have like a life-altering event happen. I hope that makes sense. So people don't start eating healthy until they have like a heart attack, right? And then they go, well, now I gotta start eating healthy because I wanna live, right? Unfortunately, it has to go to disaster in order for us to go, I gotta do better. Does that make sense? And I kind of hate that, and I love that about us as human beings, but it just is what it is. I don't make the rules up. Really figure out what matters. And like with the elderly people, what I was trying to get at is the biggest thing they had was regret. None of them were really like worried about all the money they made. They're like, listen, the money was great, and obviously it makes life easier, but the money wasn't important. There's a lot of these people who made a lot of money. In order for them to make a lot of money, they had to be away from their family. They had to be away from their loved ones, and when it became too late, it's just too late. When I found that was the most common answer for like the elderly, that's when I realized, oh, you gotta find your purpose in life. You gotta find what you're passionate about, what you love, you know what I mean? And then that is why I'm doing more coaching now than I'm doing stunts, as an example. Everyone always asks me, yo, are you gonna do stunts again? I'm like, bro, like don't get it wrong. The money was phenomenal. I mean, these guys we're getting paid like, I think now it's close to like 4,100 a week. That's not including stun adjustments or anything like that, like overtime, meal penalties, you know. So there's a lot of money in there. But the people in the Hollywood industry, bro, I just can't do it, bro. And don't get it wrong, I met a lot of incredible people in Hollywood. But there's just more people who are they're only trying to use people. And I'm not that guy. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there's a lot of people like that. I met a lot of them. I mean, don't get it wrong. Money's great, right? Like I enjoyed the Hollywood money, but it just wasn't everything. And when I realized that was the most common denominator of people towards the end of their life, I listen, you know? So like on my birthday, I'm working. I'm around the ninja community on my birthday instead of like going out of town or going to a club and drinking like what most people would do on their birthday. I'm not like that. I enjoy like going to compete with the team. I'm excited. I'm like, that's a good birthday weekend right there for me. You know, no matter what happens, even if no one wins, you know, as long as everyone gave what they got, they became better. That's what I find passion in. That's what I find reward in. That is better for me than money. That might sound crazy to some of you guys, but that just is what it is for me. So that's what I would say is find where your passion, find what you love, because at the end of the day, things, materials, money, you're never going to be able to take with you to the grave. You know what I mean? I think another big one is learning how to let go. That is an extreme power I feel like I have that most people don't. And I wish more people had this power. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. I listen to a lot of podcasts. There we go. Okay, I listen to a lot of podcasts, which is something else. Another very small life lesson is you are what you consume as well. So what you're putting into your brain will help shape your mind and your mindset. Does that make sense? So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm currently listening to one right now. I mostly listen to like Impact Theory, Inky Johnson, Eric Thomas, Your World Within. Mostly a lot of Your World Within because I love the way he storytells. Eddie Pinero, and who I'm lucky enough to call a friend. Learning to Let Go. He was saying on his podcast about a story that his friend told him on learning how to let go. And I'm going to tell you guys, I hope I don't botch it. He was talking about, you know, how some people get to moving on a lot faster. And the way his buddy put it in his story was, if you got bit by a snake and you needed to seek help to take the venom out of your body, as soon as you get bit, are you going to end up going to go chase the snake to go get your revenge? Or are you going to go out and seek help to make sure that you continue living, or make sure that you get the venom out of your body? When I heard that, I was like, damn, bro, I've been out here chasing snakes in my entire life. You know, how many people are always seeking revenge, or always seeking payback, or always seeking like, I'm going to show them, instead of like, yo, no, I got to take care of me. And the reason why that resonates so much with me is like, if you're a kid, I'm going to just say it like more PG, but like growing up being like abused as a kid, you know, was not easy. And I was always like, can't wait. I hope he XYZ. Man, when I heard that and I was able to learn to let go, boy, did my life change. Like, I can't tell you guys how much of an impact letting go did for me. It's incredible. It's really incredible. Like, you know, you get in this place where like you want to go after the person who hurt you so bad. It's like, no, bro, like, listen, a snake bit you, you need to go get help. And then after you get help, are you going to go wander in the woods trying to find this snake that bit you? No, you're just going to keep moving about your life. So learning to let go is very, very powerful in itself. Like, I just can't express that enough. Don't chase snakes anymore. If something happens to you, seek the help that you need and keep moving forward, because life is so much better than chasing snakes. Woo! Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I think the one bear trap is definitely the right call. Okay, moment of truth here. We gotta commit. No matter what happens, we have to commit. We have to build enough to slam it into bear trap so it will fall into this. Okay, and here we go. Oh, this is so scary. Oh my God. I don't know about this setup, guys. I don't know. I don't think this is gonna work. Oh my God. That is intense. I think it's gonna have to go backwards. Okay. Whoa, yeah. Okay, okay. It's a backwards move, it's not a forward move like I thought it would be. Whoa, that is intense. That is very, very intense. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna be more confident this time. So this might be something that will start with the bar on here, and then we're gonna have to jump to it backwards like this. Actually, wrong switch grip. Build that swing. All right, here we go. Next one. Yeah, let's go. Okay, okay, here we go. Let's finish it. Whew. Yes, sir. That is low key, scary, and fun. Whoa, that is a cool idea. So now, what I'm gonna highlight real quick as we're ending this video is that none of us are perfect, right? I had a vision in my head. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it, but it still turned out cool. I think this is a fun obstacle. I actually think going backwards gives it a different element that I didn't even think about. This is a good example of just go for it, just start. You just keep doing things because I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. I figured it out along the way. Guys, I'm not perfect. I don't have this creative mind, but as you start doing stuff, start getting better, you'll start falling into that shape, right? You'll start following the trends, you'll start creating your own things. This is a perfect example. Not exactly what I thought, but I think actually it turned out a lot better. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I appreciate you guys if you stayed this long. Remember, drop a comment down below on some of the life lessons you wish you learned earlier. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that thumbs up. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.